Hello, good morning, evening, or afternoon. Welcome to this CHAMP webinar on Cargospot Portal. My name is Bart-Jan Haasbeek and I'm based in Amsterdam and I am CHAMP's Events and Engagement Manager. Many thanks for joining. Let's go to the housekeeping items. The duration of the webinar will be 45 minutes. The presented data is all fictitious and the audience is everybody in the supply chain. There will be a recording and it will be distributed to you tomorrow after the webinar. And everybody is on mute, and if you have any questions, please raise them during the webinar and we will get back to you, or otherwise we will get back to you via email. You can use the question toolbox on the screen for that. And if you are interested in additional information, please let us know and we will get back to you one-on-one. Today's agenda, shortly an introduction of the panelists. Then Zeta will explain more about Cargospot Portal evolution, an in-depth demonstration or presentation by Nemil. And then we have two customers who explain their view of Cargospot Portal and portals in general. And then we summarize the webinar with the key takeaways and the follow-up and Q&A in between. Let's go to our first speaker. But before that, I will introduce the speakers of today's webinar. We start with Zeta Loo, Head of Commercial Operations, and then Nemil Sheriff, Product Manager, Cargo Portals. Zeta and Nemil are both based in Singapore. Then we follow with Manimaran Subramaniam, Director Ground Services from Cargo Xpress, and Hong Kong Air Cargo's Director Commercial, Jeffrey Zhang. And they will tell us more how to expand the digital cargo strategy with Cargospot Portal. Zeta, could you please kick off the webinar and explain why CHAMP portals?
Thank you, Bart-Jan. Hi, everyone. This is Zeta here. As I track back on my first use of Portal on web, I remember its proliferations in the 1990s to basically access informations for B2B and B2Cs. In CHAMP, where we were in the business since 1983, we were no stranger to participate in the use of technology then. Our early portal called the Zeta Super Cargo Online was the virtual gate informations for the airline, launched at year 2000 and used by many customers. It later on evolved to the CHAMP Cargo Web Service, where we adopted newer technologies and more advanced functionality. Now, both of these systems I mentioned were message-based and largely constrained by the availability and suitability of the industry messages, Cargo IMP. As we march towards the next generations of digital supply chain, be ready for Freight 4.0. And as part of our continuous innovation and to push our boundaries to do more for our freight community, Cargospot Portal has been launched on a new API-based technology platform, directly communicating with core Cargospot without the message-based constraint. Our secure portal solution has been around to serve more than 30 airlines around the world, 6,000 branch offices, and processing millions of transactions per year. We are therefore confident to bring any shape and sizes of airlines on board. The future is full-scale digital bookings, and if you are thinking about it as now part of your digital transformation strategy, our portal solution will bring speed to market for you, where you can quickly subscribe to the off-the-shelf solution in matters of weeks, 2 weeks, in fact. The functionality is built with the decades of exposure and our know-how. What you need is according to what is adhered to the industry standard. Not only that, you will no longer need an army of people to build and maintain the services for you. Your CIO will be happy to hear that a big step to your digital strategy in your cargo department comes with a tiny step with CHAMP. And from time to time, we'll continue to monitor the industry trend to make continuous update to the service so that we'll continue to uplift your user experience. But yeah, next slide, please. The other day, I was having a meeting with one of my airline customers. We were talking about the demand takes off with very good yield. I must say something that we don't experience, or in fact has been struggling with eroding yield way before e-commerce time, boosted with pandemic and port congestion now. As a matter of fact, your shareholders are still asking for more, and it's your opportunity now under a good timing, combining a push for digitalization in our industry. If we think from the angle of ensuring the airline can meet the demand with the appropriate supply, the people we deploy unfortunately has to be less or the same. You will no longer need to be 100% dependent of warm body sitting around to accept bookings. You're open for business in any location worldwide 24/7. I was talking about our younger generations of customers may have a preference to transact online in this digital era, which they simply feel that is probably faster for them and more effective. Thus, you are actually serving the needs of these so-called hippie group of online people. We essentially would like them to join our industry and retain such these young talents, I should say. I also want you to think about how much information can your warm body salesman be able to have hold of. Nowadays is actually the other way around. The customer really feel good accessing information themselves anytime, given the large exposure of information that you can put in your portal. And with API working and accessing with your core Cargospot, therefore we are able to so-called empower them with better decision making. So in this era, we have to recognize that people are information obsessive and appreciate visibility. Stop thinking about, putting expensive call routing telephony systems to handle reservation. I think there will still be times the phone call is not being picked up, therefore resulting in opportunity lost. Using Cargospot Portal, your guys are now able to channel their energy to close more deals, focus on closing more deals. Do higher order of thinking for their duties, upselling, thinking of how to get more express cargo to fill up their flights, sense the pulse of the market, and think for the company if they can put up appropriate promo rates versus street rates to get more cargo swing over to your airline. And also to sniff the kind of special cargo movement from the factories, heavy ball bearings, biofarm products, commodity that you would have charged a special rates so that it travels with your airline but no others. Just one last point, I think it is also now your customer and the portal itself with no middleman to avoid miscom, no agent to scream at you and say that your reservation guys has keyed in the wrong dimension, shipper consignee detail, which as a result cause the shipment not able to clear at custom. So you have my assurance not to worry about your so-called usage of this API technology platform with uncertainty in API costs, whether you need to pay more to the vendor like us when using Cargospot Portal. The answer is you don't have to. Back to Yan. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Zeta. And it seems that our sound issues has been resolved, so that's good to hear as well. Thank you. Let's go to a set of poll questions. So we will raise 2 questions at this moment. I'm launching the first question. The first question is, what is the most common mode of booking method used by your company? You can select multiple options here, via telephone, fax or email, via airline call center, airline owned booking portal, marketplace solutions, or messaging API. So we will wait a few seconds. The votes are getting in, I can see. So what is the most common mode of booking method used by your company? Either you're an airline or a forwarder. Telephone, fax, email, airline call center, own booking portal, marketplace solution, messaging API. Let's wait a few more seconds. a significant number of votes is getting in, but I see still people are voting. We're almost there. And I will now close the poll and share the results. So Nemil, what is your feedback on what you see on the screen?
Yeah, so I think something that is we are continuing to see is the top portion, which is the telephone, fax, email, which is kind of unstructured data that is coming to individuals, and they need to capture the data. So really, to the points that Zeta made, you know, we would like, I think, at least personally, more towards the bottom. So you see portals, marketplaces, APIs, kind of increasing the penetration, and you know, to just have the call center and the telephones just taking up a smaller proportion. So I think a solution like Cargospot Portal would ideally fit into do something like that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it shows good news, but of course it's bad news if people
Indeed.
still are calling. Yeah. So the next question: what functional area is your biggest pain point right now? So again, multiple choices here. Accurate flight availability information, real-time pricing information, accurate bookings, meeting the e-airwaybill requirements, or real-time track and trace. So what functional area is your biggest pain point? System is collecting responses. It's getting slowly. I can see the votes coming in, so we still need a few more. What functional area is your biggest pain point? Let's wait a little more. Yeah, we're almost there. And let me share the results. Accurate flight availability information, real-time price information. So Nemil, what
Yes.
is your thought around this?
So I think accurate bookings seems to be the biggest problem area, which is one of the biggest strengths of Cargospot Portal, because we are providing API-based integration. So you know, I think that will be very interesting when we touch on that. And I think accurate flight availability, especially in the time of COVID, where there is you know, a lot of changes happening, I think that is also very interesting. Though track and trace seems to be quite low, which is a bit more surprising for me.
Yes, indeed. Okay, we stay with you, Nemil. Let's go to more in-depth around Cargospot Portal. If you could explain to us the benefits, etc. The floor is yours.
Fantastic. Thank you, Batian, and thank you, Zeta, for setting the stage. My name is Nemil, so I'll take you through more details about Cargospot Portal. It's a portal solution that we've evolved over a long time. We've launched it really last year, and it's meant for four types of users, be it forwarders, shippers, truckers, handlers. We offer a variety of features, and it's really connecting to Cargospot. And we are offering the connections through deep APIs, and which really brings the strength of Cargospot to the end user. We are able to offer personalization options, which allow the portal to be very closer to the airline's visual identity. And from an airline perspective, it really depends. Even though we offer so many functions, they can pick and choose what is important for them. So I mentioned personalization, and how that matters is from an airline perspective, they want to offer the portal solution which is very closer to their own branding. If you look at Maran, who's our esteemed customer, he's sporting Cargo Xpress attire, so airlines would like to promote their own branding, and that's what we try to do through portal by providing several personalization options. Now, in terms of functional scope, we have quite a few on the portal. First, starting with the ability to check schedules, which is a straight itinerary search given a specific OND. The next one is the ability to check availability. So this is given a specific OND and additional shipment attributes, 100 kilograms, 0.1 meter cube. What are the bookable flights and also the applicable price? In addition, we are just launched an ability to check status of the flight as well. So especially in COVID, where there is dynamic situation where you have flight statuses changing, canceling, flights getting canceled. So we're giving a window into the ability to look at flight status. Then the biggest pain point, of course, we have an extensive booking management module, which I'll talk about in a minute. Also, we have the ability to manage master availables. So this is creating, updating, sharing, printing, all of that. We even have an upload feature for bulk uploads. Then we have cargo receipts. So this is part of the e-available option where users can actually print cargo receipt. So rather than issuing a piece of paper, they can do this online. We can also manage house availables, which is the ability to create, update, and print of house availables. And also real-time track and trace. So depending on the status as in Cargospot, we are able to show that in real time. And we have two ground handling functions, which is the ability to send manifest and status updates, which I will speak about in a few minutes. Now, focusing first on the availability piece. So this is where we are able to provide shippers and forwarders visibility into flight information, i.e. What are the available flights for a specific origin destination. We are able to look at a lot of attributes like what is the product that the user wants to book with, the price class, the handling codes. We show the connection information, we show price class, price information, and several other details. It also looks at things like, are there embargoes, are there pricing restrictions, and even it shows the closest price information. So if it is a agent specific price is there, then that is shown. If it is a street price or a common market price, then that is shown. So it looks at a lot of options, and the focus really is to get the data right up front so that there are fewer updates or corrections needed later down. Now, in terms of the bookings piece, as I mentioned, we are working with APIs now. Yes, from a technology perspective, we are using APIs, but from a user perspective, how that matters is that we're able to do quite a bit. For example, it is seamless. So the booking transaction could start via the call center. Users can make an update from the system. They can just send a message-based update or an API-based update. It's all seamless. It just works in a continuous fashion. We are able to show several different attributes of bookings. For example, if there is pricing information, we are able to show that. It is real-time confirmation. So it's just like we are very close to the backend Cargospot itself. And we are able to bring a lot of power of Cargospot, like allotments, ad hocs, products, price classes, and even the stock information. The user does not need to remember. So even if you have issued available stock to the airline's end customer, they don't need to remember which stock was used or not used. System will actually keep track of that, and it'll be auto-generated. We also have an extensive module, like I mentioned, for managing master and house servables. So these, you can actually create the data, you can update it, you can print it, you can use spreadsheets for sending large volumes of data, you can print IATA 606 barcode labels, and all that and more directly from the portal, so that there is no sophistication or message-based integration that's needed from the forwarder side. We also have an extensive tracking module, which connects again via API to the backend Cargospot system. So we are able to, as soon as the data is updated in Cargospot, we are able to show that to the user. Again, there is some configuration which makes it even more powerful, like which status needs to be shown, etc. And this also gives visibility for forwarders and shippers into what really is happening with their shipment. Now, the last but not the least, we have a couple of functions for ground handlers. So in case you do not use the handling module in Cargospot, or your ground handlers do not have another system which is capable of sending these updates, you can use the portal to send the data. So manifest is essentially capturing the details of what really was carried on the flight, be it different shipments, containers, nil manifest, whatever it is. You can send that into Cargospot. So you really don't want to exchange this via email, because it's quite a complex set of information. And you can also update statuses. For example, let's say the shipment's status was delivered to the final consignee, then you can actually send an FSU DLV back into Cargospot, so you don't miss that information. The track and trace is perfect, and Cargospot is updated. So those are two ground handling functions we have. And Bart-Jan, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Nemil. Let's quickly do two additional poll questions before we go to hear from our customers who actually use the system. So very quickly, if you could respond to this poll question, which of the following, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strongly do you believe that an airline should offer their own digital service from their website? So there's a scale where 10 is the most. So then you feel strongly that airlines should offer digital services like booking from their website. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strongly do you believe that an airline should offer their own digital services on their website? Votes are coming in. Over 50% now, so that's good. Let's wait a little longer to get a higher percentage. Okay. Yeah, and Nemil, this was expected, I think.
Indeed. But I think there is also a bit on the a bit of a distribution, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah. So let's go to the last question on the poll stats. Which of the following digital services do you work with most often? The airline-owned booking portal, marketplaces like Freightos, Cargo AI, Cargo One, other digital solutions, or you do not use a digital solution? Which of the following digital services do you work with most often? And there's only one choice here. It's not multiple options. So the votes are getting in. Almost at the 50% mark, and then we wait a little longer. Okay, let's close this and show you the results.
Interesting. I wish we could have captured somehow the other digital solutions, but I think equally interesting is the last piece, the 15% who said I do not use a digital solution. So yeah, I think this is pretty much how I would have expected it. So I think the scope really for us as in the industry is really to move everything from digital to non-digital to digital.
Yes. Okay, so now let's move on and let's hear now directly from an airline. So I would like to introduce Jeffrey Zhang, Director Commercial of Hong Kong Air Cargo. Jeffrey, could you please introduce you and your company?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jeffrey Zhang. I'm a Director Commercial of Hong Kong Air Cargo. The air code is RH. We are an all cargo airlines based in Hong Kong, and we are the sister company to Hong Kong Airlines. Yes, so which is passenger airlines. Since its establishment in 2017, Hong Kong Air Cargo continuously provides international schedule and non-schedule service to Hong Kong, Asia, and beyond. Currently, Hong Kong Air Cargo operates a Asian regional network of 12 destinations with its fleet of 5 A330-200 freighter, wide-body freighter. Our sister company, Hong Kong Airlines, operates a fleet of Airbus A330 passenger aircraft, A350 passenger aircraft, and A320 passenger aircraft. And we are responsible for the cargo component of their operation. Given the recent and upcoming strong cargo demand, Hong Kong Air Cargo applied to Air Transport Licensing Authority to add 9 more destinations, further expanding its network to the Indian subcontinent, Oceania, and Europe. Currently, we are using Cargospot. Actually, we have been using Cargospot for more than 10 years, and we are about to go live with the Cargospot Portal. We see the Cargospot Portal as being critical to our business going forward, providing our customers with a direct and secure means. The first display real-time availability, connections, and price information across the Hong Kong Air Cargo and the Hong Kong Airlines flight network. The second is booking across our extended network of flights. The third is perform real-time check and trace. The fourth is submitting electronic airway bill data in our quest to be e-airway compliant. Furthermore, with Cargospot Portal, we become open for sales 24 hours a day, and in the meantime, reduce or avoid the intervention of our staff in the customer order process, meaning more time available to focus on other areas of our business. We are in the implementation phase 1 right now with Cargospot Portal, and working closely with Nemil and his team. Looking forward to give in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We will have some questions for you in a minute after the next presentation. Then I'm sure Nemil will also respond to you with some questions. Let's move on. Let's go to our next speaker, and I would like to welcome Manimaran Subramaniam from Express, based in Malaysia. Marim, please, could you explain or tell us more about Express?
You're on mute.
Marim, we cannot hear you at the moment.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Bart, and giving me this window to explain a little bit about Cargo Express. Hello, everyone. My name is Manimaran Subramaniam. You can call me Maran. I'm Director Ground Services for Cargo Express. We are a new freighter operator based in Malaysia. We began our scheduled flight in June 2021 with 737-400 operating domestically. Since then, we have increased our 737 fleet, are in the process and adding new destinations to our network. We recently operated in Hong Kong and now looking towards opening new routes to China, Singapore, Indonesia, and elsewhere, developing a robust and cost-effective network within Asia. And our hub is centered in Kuala Lumpur. To simply put, our goal is to be the provider of choice for express e-commerce shipment, as well as point-to-point transshipment, truck services for our time-to-market sensitive customers. So clearly, to run our business, we need a IT platform where Cargospot comes in. And at the moment, Cargospot and Cargospot Portal managing key IT parts of our cargo business. Clearly, Cargospot Portal provides our customer and team significant benefit. Number one is the bookings. Right now, our booking can be made 24/7, where we don't put a soul to monitor those. It's all in the back end. And secondly, the system is reliable. It's seamless, allowing users to create, update new bookings, and also it's cost and time cost effective and time saving. The self-service features on the portal means that our customers receive fewer calls. Our staff receive fewer calls related to booking and tracking requests, which means our staff actually, the quality of our staff is really better. They can now focus on our core duties. And to sum it all, I think this Cargospot has given us, it's been pivotal in our business, and we appreciate the scalability of Cargospot Portal, where we can immediately implement to our new routes without spending a lot of time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Marim. Yeah, you mentioned fewer calls. That's very good news, because in the polls we saw that quite a few people are still booking through phone. So that's indeed why there is a Cargospot Portal or these digital services, and improving quality and scalability. Very positive to hear.
Yeah,
and Nemil, sorry.
It's true, because we have seen it. We're a new kid on the block. The minute we put in new routes, and we are immediately there. That's what I see. We find this quite useful to us.
Yep. Great. And Nemil, do you have a question to one of the airline customers?
Yeah. So maybe to Maran, I think what kind of training are you giving to your users? I believe we discussed some interesting stats you mentioned.
Yeah, to begin with, after introducing Cargospot Portal, we have already gathered over 100 customers who have actually registered to use Cargospot Portal over the last 2 months. And the kind of training that we give them is less than over 15 minutes. That's the beauty part of it, where we don't spend much of time actually empowering our customers. And that's the easy part of the business, where we transfer our load to them, and they can immediately transact with us, which is good and really cost effective.
Indeed.
So Nemil, I have a question for you. If you compare the portals now in this day and age to 20 years ago, what are the big differences? We discussed and saw a few portals in those decades. Are there big differences?
So I think the short answer for me is yes and no. Maybe let me start with the no part, in the sense that the pain points even back then and now are unfortunately somewhat similar. But what has really changed in the recent past is, of course, the technology has evolved, so we are able to provide much better capabilities. We are able to provide a wider portfolio of functionalities. But I think key difference really is the adoption of technology. There are parts of the logistics chain who are very eager to adopt technology. There is an incredible marketing chain that is linked to some of these. So like we have webinar options now, able to share what we are doing. So that actually helps promote adoption. But yeah, meaning to the poll question, which actually reflects some of the actual reality. So hopefully we can use solutions like Cargospot Portal to further address that gap.
Yes, indeed. So there's indeed wider adoption. It's not for the happy few. That's a big difference. So compared also to a longer time ago, Zeta, you mentioned about challenges for our younger customers, the younger people that are joining our industry. You mentioned that they face a challenge. Is it not also a huge opportunity for them? We cannot hear you, Zeta. No, we cannot hear you still.
Is better?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes, maybe you can repeat your question again.
Yeah. You mentioned about younger people, younger customers specifically joining our industry, that they face the challenge. Isn't it also an opportunity for the young people, because there is a challenge in our industry, but it's also a huge opportunity. What is your thought on that?
Yeah, thanks. Actually, that is a very interesting question. And when I attend webinars and live events, I have been talking to the airline executives. We ponder over such questions as well, and I gave a thought about it from time to time. I found an answer to myself on this question. I think as the industry is assumed to be quite traditional to all these young folks, so it's important for us as a IT vendor playing our role to continue always to interact with them, just keep interacting with them, expose them with our ideas and what we're doing. Through those interactions, I think what is important here is the word is around. The fact that you have gone through all these interactions and get registered in their head, continue to let them know what we're doing. Naturally, they will be able to so-called make a difference to our industry one day when they join us.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Let's go to, I think, the final question, because there are also questions coming in from the audience. This is for Jeffrey. From a productivity standpoint, how much resource or time do you estimate Hong Kong Air Cargo can save after launching the portal? And also, how many % increase would you estimate as a result?
Firstly, I think we can, if we can implement the Cargospot Portal, yes, we can save the cost and the time. As around for the one booking, we can save around 1 to 2 hours, because currently we use the email for customer to book for booking. So it's need time almost 1 hour. So when they send email to us, then we reply email to them, then confirm the booking. So if we can use the Cargospot Portal, yes, we can save 1 hour time. For the percentage of booking, we think we can improve our booking around 20%, or sometimes our customer cancel the booking, but we don't know. So if Cargospot Portal can provide 24-hour service, we can know the factory booking immediately. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So we have a few minutes left, so let's go to the Q&A from our customers. There is one question from the audience. Nemil, I think this is for you. Please advise, does customers see only one particular airline or all airlines when use Cargospot Portal?
So for Cargospot Portal, it is not a marketplace solution. So we are connecting to a single airline. So we are connecting to one single Cargospot instance. We focus on that airline, and it is a solution meant for that specific airline to interact with their forwarders and shipper.
Okay, let's go to the next question. Can the cargo agent request for ad hoc rates through Cargospot Portal when making a booking?
Yes, they can. So we have added the capability to send spot rate requests. So what happens is that when the user looks at the availability screen, they can see the price information. Now, in case they are not happy with the rate that is returned for that specific request, then they can propose an alternative ad hoc rate, which gets sent to the airline. And then the airline will actually look at that request and process it from an ad hoc standpoint. If that is approved, then it gets applied to the booking. If not, it is the standard price. So all of this can be also seen via the portal, so that the end customer has visibility into how the processes happen.
Yeah, and then the last question, and then we will get back to the other questions via email to the respective individuals who raised them. This is also a specific question. Is it possible to make postal airway bills through Cargospot Portal?
So postal, not at the minute. This is something that we are looking at, future enhancement. So hopefully, I think we will look at it probably end of this year or next year, but it is still under consideration at this stage.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, other questions we will address another time, and that directly is about the speed of implementation, etc. But let's go now to the summary of the webinar. Zeta, if you could please summarize what we have discussed today.
Thank you, Ian. I think a short history of where we were for Portal Solution links us back to today, and appreciating why we need to be there for our customers, standing shoulder to shoulder with them as their partner in this digital era, where there are plenty of opportunities and possibilities we would have as you consider Cargospot Portal to be a cornerstone to your overall digitalization strategy. Nemil has also kindly shown you the functionality of the system today, where I believe your imagination never stops as he went through the operational features. He has taken care of how you can front your customers and how your customer will personally feel comfortable and easy when using Cargospot Portal. Now, allow me to also give my special thanks to our two honorable guest speakers today who have forked out their precious time to bring their invaluable insights and advice to our audience. They have given their testimonials on how it is like to use Cargospot Portal, even if you are a mature and successful carrier already like RH, or a startup carrier like Cargo Express, expected to increase in at a faster than average speed with ambitious growth plan. I'm sure that your airline falls into one of these categories today, and they would have shipped your thoughts after today's webinar. So thank you, Jeffrey and Mariam. Last but not least, joining my colleagues and myself, Nemil, Bakyan, and the entire CHAM team, today we have a vision to help you, our industry and community, to get stronger each day, to be as digital as possible, not compromising your concern on user experience, scalability, security, and risk management, and many more. So we ask you not to request for $1 million budget today to fund your digital strategy. We ask you not to hire an Amazon army of people from your IT and business department today. What we are asking you is to invest in a small step with CHAM Cargospot Portal, because tiny is actually safe and tiny can be mighty. I would just like to end off with one ancient saying that is actually available in both Chinese and English. And I'm sure Jeffrey and Mariam would agree with me that in Chinese we say 星星之火可以燎原. In English, a single spot can start a prairie fire. Now the problem with us, in our industry, no matter where we are, our culture and background, is the fact that what if we never even and don't even start? So please don't underestimate a single spot, because that's actually where it begins. And your road to a full digitalization journey can start with CHAM Cargospot Portal. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeta. Yes, indeed, it all starts small. Yes, so this is the end. We run over a little bit. That is also because of the sound issues we faced in the beginning. Thank you, Nemil. Thank you, Zeta. And thank you, Mariam and Jeffrey as guest speakers. And thank you, audience, for joining this webinar. We look forward to see you next time again. And please all stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.